Hey, I'm going to talk about overhead squats here for a little bit because everyone these days seems to think that they're the greatest exercise in the world, worth pushing up massive numbers in, which is fine, I guess, if you're going to compete in a sport that demands that you have a 400-pound overhead squat. Most of you don't. To me, the value in the overhead squat is just the fact that you can do it more than it is that you can do a bunch of weight. Now, there's nothing wrong about doing some fair amounts of weight in it, but as an athlete, and if you're working with athletes, if they can do a few reps with 75% to 100% of their body weight, unless they're in the sport of Olympic lifting or competitive CrossFit, where sometimes you do a 1-rep max overhead squat, there's really not a lot of reason to subject them to going much higher than that. So I'm just going to discuss a little variation on the overhead squat that I've been doing a lot more of because I've been working on my pressing, and also I feel is a little more valid indicator of where people are with their shoulder, hip, and ankle mobility, and that's using more of a press grip to do their overhead squatting, and then it is getting out in that snatch grip, which is more like an Olympic lifting. If you're familiar with the functional movement screen, this falls more in line with how it's tested there in the overhead squat portion of the test, where you're more in your arms are more in a press grip overhead than they are way out wide in a snatch. So let me grab the bar. Oh, there we go. Hopefully I got some room so you can see what's going on. So first thing, I'm just going to get my hands where I press from, which is the thumb width from my shoulder, maybe just a little bit farther. I've been working on going a little bit wider with my pressing because it feels a little more stable overhead. So now, because most of you guys are used to overhead squatting, you're way out here by the collars. And what's different about, and I'm going to show you a couple things here. So if we're in here with the press grip, we get all the way overhead and we step out from, there we go. So first part of this is getting your feet in that squat stance where you want to be. For me, bring this down a little bit. For me, it's just outside of shoulder width with my toes pointing out just a hair, I don't know, maybe 15 degrees or so. This tends to put most people in the best position to get the most squatting done. Now there's a lot of debate about, especially, I work for Mobility WOD, so there's a lot, I get in all these stupid debates about foot position, and really the only thing I'm concerned about, and that really any of us are concerned about, is that as you're squatting, you're not collapsing. And what we find is in most people, they don't have to be straight ahead, but most people, if they're somewhere between about here and here, they have the ability to squat under high intensity, whether that be higher loads or higher speeds, and staying in good non-collapse positions. It seems that the farther more people turn their feet, the harder it is to keep themselves from getting in these collapsed positions under high load or high speed. It's more difficult to keep the knees in line with the ankles the farther the feet turn out. Now, if you can pull it off under high load and high speed, great. Most people cannot. So that is more, so that's really why we tend to favor this position over getting out to here, okay? That's all it is. Let's all quit complaining and arguing and having dumb conversations about it. So, feet here. So, first thing, get my stance set. Make sure I don't hit my table behind me. There we go. We're still on the kettlebell. So, stance set, armpits forward. So I'm turning the pits of my elbows up towards the bar and trying to maintain that position. I'm not here. This is an unstable position. I'll get into that in a sec, but the sun's coming in. So, pressing into the bar, trying to rip it in half, elbow pits facing the bar. I'm setting my pelvis with my butt a little bit squeezed, breathing into my stomach, squeezing my trunk, all my trunk muscles down, and I'm going to sit straight down. So that means I have to open my hips up. I've got to open up my hips, and my knees have to stay with my ankles so I can sit straight down. Right in that position, okay? Back up. What we tend to see is people that can't do that, and when they get way out wide, since that bar has to stay over their midfoot, as they come down, what you'll see, let me get here, is if they don't have good positions in the shoulder and they don't have a good ability to turn their, or to open up their hips, what you'll see them do is as they come down, they'll lean the torso forward and open the shoulders up backwards. Ugh. And that's a big compensation that they can make when they get out wider in the shoulder. You can't really do that as the hands come in. Sorry about the sun coming in. I should have closed the blinds. It was cloudy a second ago. But what I want you guys to do is mess around with bringing the hands in and checking that position. Because I feel like if you can master that overhead squat with the hands a little more narrow, doing it with the hands out wide and that snatch grip should be a lot easier. So notice how I was deliberate and how I created tension and had a good setup, went straight down. I didn't try to sit back. You have to be able to open the hips, keep the shoulders in good position, and sit straight down between your feet. Okay? So play with that. Let me know what you think. Go be awesome.